on, guys? Just picked up an alarm and a remote starter combo for the 2003 Chevy Malibu. If you guys go back and look at my previous video, I just had picked it up. And before I order, like all the other stuff, do all the other stuff I want to do to it, the first thing I want to do is get that alarm and remote starter put on it. Because before I sell it, for some reason, people love alarm and remote starters on their vehicle. It's like an easy selling point for me. I mean, I know it don't matter to some of y'all, but to me, it's an easy selling point. Like it's something comforting about buying a vehicle, spending your money on a vehicle that's already come with alarm and remote starter. Because that remote starter is good for the winter time as well as the summertime. In the summertime, you come out, you know, your car hot and inside, your leather seats, you can remote start it, leave the AC on, and be cool when you get in there. And then in the winter, you know, you leave your heat on, your remote start, you come out. It's nice and toasty for you, and plus it got all around protection. Like somebody break the window, the vehicle gonna go off. If someone's open the trunk, the vehicle gonna go off. And this alarm system is very different from the other ones. It got a lot of extra features, which I'm gonna talk about. And basically, I'm trying this system out for the first time. I haven't really seen this system around personally. It reminds me of an old system that went out of business a while ago. It's called AutoPage. It looks similar to their product. I mean, the wire down to the wiring and the shape of the brain of the alarm box. But it's the AS675 1W. That's mean like the one. That's like the one-way remote, regular remote like the one shown on the box. And then if it's a 2W, that means a two-way pager. That would come with the pager. Like if somebody like hit your car, it'll show up on the pager. It'll like make a sound, beep and vibrate, and it'll show you like if somebody open a trunk or bust the window out. I know on the older ones, I mean not on the older ones, on the different brands, like if somebody like hit your window or show impact, it'll show a little hammer, like hitting the window on the pager screen. And if somebody open the trunk or the hood, it'll show up on the pager itself. It'll show like the hood open or the trunk open, and basically it's like a nice feature to have. It take all the guesswork out, because you ever started your vehicle and you didn't know if it was started, or you have to look out of there, especially if you stay in apartment buildings like on the 4th, 5th floor, whatever maybe. It just take the guesswork out of the vehicle, because the pager, when you hit it, the remote start, if the vehicle is started, you're going to know because the page is going to show you that it made connection. The transmitter made connection and the vehicle is actually running. It'll show you that through the pager screen. But I don't need all that because the vehicle is going to be sold. So this is good enough. This is good enough for me. So basically, and it's crazy how it's like the other companies called AutoPage, and then they got this A right here. I know they said Auto Shield, but it looked exactly like the you can look it up if you want to, like AutoPage. It looked exactly the same. All right, up to a 1/4 mile range or remote start. So basically, that's about 2 blocks. It depends on like if it's open field, if it's like houses, or if you're around downtown around buildings and stuff, you might get less range than that. But I mean, that's pretty good. You get 2 4-button remotes, as shown on the box. Built-in 2-zone shock sensor with auto learning. I mean, that's good to have less stuff to hook up. They got a built-in shock sensor, but a lot of times it could be good. A lot of times it can be bad, depending on the vehicle, because it's hard. You got to actually, like, if you mount the brain of the box somewhere, but if you have an external shock sensor, you can mount the external shock sensor somewhere else or run it somewhere else. But if you got a place that's hard to mount, that means you got to try to mount this awkward shaped brain box to something solid, so that when you hit the vehicle basically like go off. So that's like a plus and a minus. It all depends. It's a DBI port compatible with ADS bypass modules. That means that a lot of bypass modules that's it's compatible with this, you can plug straight in, and it'll make a lot of connection without you actually having to hardwire it. But to me, if you ever doing a bypass on a vehicle and it say data link, like all you gotta do is plug the plug from the box to the to the box to the bypass, I wouldn't trust that. I hardwire mass. I mean, it might say like if they say, oh, you can data port, you can plug in a port and it'll save you like 10 wires hook up. Nah, I'd rather go do them 10 wires, because you plug that in, it don't work, and you get all that work done. Then now you got to go back and double track. You could have just did that the first time. I old school that all day long. I'd rather do it the old school way. Built-in tilt sensor. Now that's good. I don't know too many systems, if any, that had the built-in tilt sensor. This is for like people. Okay, say for instance, people get an alarm system. I had a guy, did an alarm system or whatever for him, and he was like, yeah, they took, I jacked up my car, took my wheel off, and alarm didn't even go off. First, I was thinking to myself, why would you just didn't put it in valet, jack it up? People just snooping too much. But that ain't nothing wrong with that. But I explained to him on the other alarm system, I'm like, you have to add a tilt sensor. The shock sensor, people get that confused. People are like, oh, well, I rocked my car, or I jacked it up to one side and then it go off. That's because the shock sensor is actually an impact sensor. That meaning if you hit the vehicle or bust a window, then it'll go off. Tilt sensor is two different things. Like the tilt sensor, it's like, I know the old ones had like I believe a ball in it, like a metal ball, and it'd be flat. And then as soon as you tilt the car, that little ball roll to the side, and I think it's like mercury. It lose connection, and then it sets the alarm off. And that's why I try to explain to people like that tilt sensor. Like a lot of them alarms, you have to add the tilt sensor on it. Because if somebody take your rim off or jack it up, it will not go off. Impact sensor, tilt sensor, it's two different things. But I'm glad to see that this already got it built in. So that's just like an extra selling point, and to save the customer money. Because usually they have to pay like an extra $45-50 or more for that tilt sensor to be hooked up, because you have to mount it. But all that coming in the brain is actually good. Now, that being said, although those features is actually good, I get kind of weary when people put too much stuff. I'd rather for people to add an external, like, okay, if it comes with a shock sensor and tilt sensor, put that in there externally, like put extra parts in the box so you can hook it up. And the reason why I say that is because it's like if one of those parts go bad, then you have to replace the whole brain box. Okay, say for instance, you remember those old TVs that came with the DVD players and all that stuff in it? Now, if you was playing that DVD player, the DVD player go out, I mean, that's like worthless, like, because you have to basically change the whole thing to get that fixed. It's not worth getting fixed. And on this, like, if the shock sensor go bad or the tilt sensor go bad, then you could just exchange that part. But if one of those go bad and it's all in one unit, then you just have to take the whole unit out. Then in the midst of taking the whole unit out, a person will lose their protection. If we don't say, they come back and they be like, oh, I want to take this out and exchange it. They would have to wait till I get the part. But if it's like a tilt sensor or a shock sensor, I could just unplug that. Then they can go about their business and they'll still have protection. They could just come back in with a part ordered. But all in all, that's still kind of good though. And the price on these is not too bad. But I'm gonna see when I hook it up. I want to test it. Well, unfortunately, I'm not gonna have it long enough to test it, because I'm supposed to be selling this vehicle. I'm flipping this vehicle. So in the futures, I probably do one of these on my personal vehicles. But I'm still gonna see how everything work and program and all that stuff like that. Okay, it said remote panic and car locator. Most vehicles have that. Second channel trunk release output. Okay, that's most vehicles have that. I mean, all of them learns have that. Dual polarity. Positive, negative door locks. That's good. Starter disable output. Okay, the starter disable output. I usually do a starter relay on older vehicles. A lot of these new vehicles, you couldn't hardwire it if you tried. I mean, it's tough enough hooking it up through all this. It got like bypass immobilizers, it got chips in the key. It had to see resistance through the BCM, all that. It's like you come a long way from them days where you could pop the steering column or touch them two wires. So you got to start it up. Won't be happening with these newer vehicles. If anything, you'll short something out first or burn something up. It just ain't gonna happen with these new vehicles. So I don't really do the starter kill relays on the newer vehicles. And a lot of customers ask for it, and I have to explain to them, you know, why you think you have to go get an extra key made for these vehicles. You know, nobody's hot wiring it. You know, it's bad enough to start it with the key that you got. Talking about starting without the key, that's just ridiculous. It ain't gonna happen. You basically to steal these new cars, you either got to have a tow truck or have some kind of programming tool that can just program a key, because hardwiring it is dead. Them days for these newer vehicles are, unless it's an older car. Some of them older cars you can steal with a Barbie pin and a stick of gum. In about 10 seconds, you gone. It's that easy to steal them older cars. Ain't happening with the new cars. Okay, it said programmable run times and turbo time feature. Yeah, I got to look into that too, because it's turbo time. That's good for like diesels. Diesels got wait to start and stuff like that. But I wonder how long that run time is, because a lot of customers be asking for longer run time, and some of them vehicles it's don't run. I mean, 20 minutes is good enough, but some I want it longer. With some vehicles, I mean, some systems have them longer, but that's not a killer point. That's not a killer point right there, because I still probably can, if I was selling it to a customer, I still probably can persuade them to get that, especially if it's a good system and it's reliable, because that's what they like, reliability. Okay. Trunk release program, run times, turbo time. Okay. Dedicated horn and sound siren output. That's good too, because the horn hooks. So basically, not only do it comes with a siren, comes with the siren output too. So actually, you can hook it up to your factory horn, and not only with the siren go off, it'll blow the horn, you know, in a pattern, like in a post pattern. So that's pretty good. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing an update on this, and well, you're gonna see it operate on a 2013 Malibu. So yeah, and put that to the side. Now this bypass right here, this is a lifesaver. I remember like back in 2005, I believe it was 05 or 06, probably 05, when the Magnum, the Dodge Magnum first came out, and no one had any information on that car. Like, you call around the shops, no one did it before. I almost feel like I was the first in the world to do it. Maybe not, but it sure feel like it, because everybody, like, I'm calling around like, hey, the people I know, like, hey, what's the deal with the Magnum? Need any special? Cause a lot of people is in the automotive field that I know. I'm like, hey, any special features? I mean, any special bypass you need with the Magnum? They like, I don't know. I keep calling everybody. They were like, I don't know. They were like, won't you just go in there blind, basically, and let us know. Let us know what all they need. Somehow, if I'm gonna get some information on it, but I didn't have no bypass on it. Like, now you can buy bypasses for that vehicle that'll make it a smooth transition. But when it first came out, I need all types of diodes, relays, reverse polarity, the wires with reverse polarity. It's called like multiplex wire. I mean that one wire do about 3 or 4 different things through resistors. Can you imagine, like, they telling you, like, oh, I need you to take, say, like, if you want to, for instance, you want to remote start a vehicle. You need like an accessory, first accessory, second accessory, you need a starter. That's 3 different functions. But then they telling you all the 3 different separate wires go to this one wire. So that means you got to have relays, resistors, diodes, and they got to be the right ohms too. A little bit over, a little bit under, and the wrong too far, it would not work. And everything need a resistor. I'm talking about from the park lights to the trunk pop to the accessories, and whoever out there did a Dodge Magnum the old school way when it first came out, or had to do it that way, know what I'm talking about. It almost took me like 8 to 10 hours to do that vehicle, maybe longer, when it first came out. So when it first came out, I had people calling me so I can walk them through it. And matter of fact, people was like sending me the cars. They were like, "Hey man, won't you just do it? I'll send them over there to you." And I'm like, ah. But like I said, now they have a way where you can that bypass is something. Now these could be a pain in the butt, but they also could be a lifesaver because some bypasses will say that it'll do the factory disarm. You can get the parking light, the door lock, the trunk release, the immobilize, and all that, and all it'll do half of that, no matter what you do. Because some of these bypasses just, I don't know if from the factory they said it do certain cars, with some certain cars it don't do. I remember I had to use two bypasses. One bypass caught like the door locks and all the other stuff. Then the other bypass caught the immobilizer. But you got one bypass saying that it'll do everything. But I'm pretty sure for that Malibu, it's gonna get everything. It's a remote starter and data bus interface. That meaning that it do basically everything. It's the ALCA, the iData all. That means it does everything. It does the well, I don't trust the park lights because I don't gotta have a lot of bypasses that you can do the park light on. Some of them say you can do the park light, but I haven't had one that's successful that you can do the park light on it yet. So basically, I just catch the door locks, the trunk monitor, the hood monitor, the tag wire, the immobilizer bypass, and some more stuff. Okay, you can't catch the horn hunk on here. I usually run that to the BCM or the ignition column or whatever that's gonna be. And yeah, this can be definitely a life. Now these bypasses cost. Sometimes these bypasses cost up to $100. Sometimes, like you get them like 50, 75, 100 bucks, depending on where you get them from. But sometimes I go to my buddy's shop, or I order them sometimes. But a lot of times ordering them, they say they're gonna flash. You got to have special software to flash these. I had some software a while back to flash these, but I don't have it no more. And then a lot of these bypasses don't have to be flashed; just have to be programmed. But I take it to a local shop or a Best Buy to have them program it, just to flash it. They hook up to the computer, flash it for your type of car, so it can learn the car, and then you just go hook it up and you self-program it. But yeah, a lot of people selling these and they saying, "Oh, we'll send them. Just let us know the vehicle." And I think if you have to do a learn must start, go to a local shop and pick one of these up and have them program it. Do not order one of these off eBay or one of them sites that say, "Oh yeah," or Amazon. You can buy them and just and when you get to the car that end you finna pay for it, just leave the year, make, and model, and we'll flash it. That's bull crap, man. A lot of them I just haven't had success with doing it that way. So I would just suggest you guys to do it that way. Do it that way. But yeah, this is basically gonna be all I need for it. And I got a white siren somewhere. Somewhere I got a white siren that I'm gonna use for it, because it come with a little black siren which ain't that loud, and I got a small white siren with the white siren ain't that loud. But I'm just gonna hook both of them up because, like I said, I'm not trying to. If it was my vehicle, I make sure it's my vehicle, but if it was like if I was keeping it, I'll make sure I have like a lot of little different stuff on it. But I'm just going basic on this one. Just make sure they got the protection alarm, most start, everything work. You know, the siren, a nice loud siren where you can hear it. And basically that's about it. So I ain't gonna hold you guys up no longer because this actual video is actually getting long, but I just wanted to explain to you some of them functions, and I'm gonna try this system out. Normally I don't really like trying new stuff. I mean, I do sometimes. I like trying new stuff, but you know, if it's like my stuff, I try something new, but I don't want to have a customer or somebody pay for something to get done, and I'm trying something new and it don't work, because a lot of that time when you order stuff off of that, you don't know if that stuff gonna work. You do all that wiring and it don't work, and instead you don't have time to pack it back up and send it back. So what you end up doing, you end up losing money. You end up just trying to go to a local shop to try to buy something that you know can work just to get it done. So that way, if something go wrong, you can take it back to that local shop and they'll exchange it for you. But doing it online, I basically would only do that for myself. Because if I was hooking to something for myself, because it go wrong, it can get frustrated, because you'll end up out of some money trying to make some money, if that makes sense. To most of you installers, you know what I'm talking about. The mobile electronic technicians, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I'm gonna be doing a further. I'm not gonna be showing how to install this, because I got enough videos up on how to install Alarm Mode Starter, you know, with bypasses and all that stuff like that. But you can go online, you can print out these sheets, it'll show you how to what you need to hook up and whatever like that. But this is gonna be like, the weather outside is messed up, and I'm not gonna have the time to be filming and recording this, because I'm gonna have to be programming. You know, the stuff can get frustrated when you're doing a bypass. Maybe it was an older vehicle, I get the doing it, but I'm gonna try to get this done and get it over with, because I got to do the other stuff. Remember, I got to order my fog lights and LED bulbs, and aftermarket fog light. I put all that wiring at it, kits and all that to switch. So this is gonna be the end of this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this video. And if you like my content, you like mobile electronic content, I'm gonna have plenty of that coming soon. And I'm asking y'all to grow with me. I'm gonna have a lot of content. I can't do all the stuff I want, like all the fancy cars and other, but we will get there one day if y'all just stick with me. Until then, just be safe, take care of yourself, stay prayed up, keep that mask on, keep that hand sanitizer on, and it's just man, do that. All right, later. Catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.
Perfect.